And good evening. This is Coach Big Pete of DeepDishFootball.com and the Win Report. Deep Dish Football Game of the Week, Week 6. Geneva versus Batavia, as voted by you, the fans. It is time now to look at Geneva football. I did this morning Batavia football. It's time now to look in towards the Geneva football season so far. Um, Last season, tough season, 3-6. Coach, and I will mispronounce some names. I do apologize. I am not the most literate person in the world. I do apologize. I do have my how do you say, my faults, and one of them is mispronouncing last names. Coach Winzinski. I probably will get that wrong. Winzinski. I'll just call you Coach W. Just gonna call you Coach W. Sorry, and I do apologize. Coach W and their team went 3-6 last season, but before that has had a very successful career, especially with Geneva football. 2008, they took second place in state. So Geneva and Coach W have done a serious good job. A little fault with last year. This year they are at a 3-2 record. A pretty good schedule. Not gonna lie, they had a key loss against Julia Catholic, which really hurt them. But they've they've come back. They beat Larkin, they beat Streamwood, they beat Kalen. I think the key thing is, and this is a key thing that people need to understand, and this is in their second loss against St. Charles East was a tough loss, 23-16. They lost to Julia Catholic, 34-27. Two tough losses that could have been two wins. They could have easily been 5-0. Simple as that. And that says a lot about the demeanor and the character of the kids, and especially going against a great team like St. Charles East. Looking at their team, I'll go into the roster tomorrow, but looking at Geneva football, really impressed with some of their senior players. Really impressed with their two safeties. Really impressed, of course, with Bobby Murray, accuracy, one of the better quarterbacks under center. Really impressed with the wide receivers. Very impressed with the line. Was taken back by Geneva's line. A lot of things to be shorn up. But if they get to 5 wins, if Geneva gets to 5 wins, and if during playoff points they can get into the playoffs, they are a scary team in the playoffs. They get to 6 wins, they're already in the playoffs. They are a scary team. Those is a very strong dark horse team in my mind if they get into the playoffs. Very scary with that team, especially on the defensive secondary side, a strong secondary, showing up on a strong secondary, especially if the offense is now going towards the spread and the red gun type of offenses. That defense's ability to be compatible with those offenses and basically, what's the word? How do you say? They're basically able to compete with those teams, especially going into the playoffs. Like I said, Geneva looks great. They got to get to those 5 wins or even 6 wins, but I think they're going to have enough playoff points for the teams in their conference. Is unbelievable. They have St. Charles East and all those other teams. And if you look ahead, they have a tough ahead schedule because after Batavia, Elgin, okay, possible, really possible wins. St. Charles North and West Aurora. Those are some tough games, especially when you start Batavia. Then you got Elgin. They could win that game. St. Charles North and West Aurora, and a game at St. Charles North, game at Elgin, and their last game at West Aurora, which is a very, very tough team. That it's just going to be amazing to see because it's a hell of a schedule that they have played so far, and they need 2 wins. Play down a little bit of an Elgin, they got very possible win. Um, they're going to have to do something either against West Aurora, St. Charles North, or Batavia. But I think they can do it. I think Batavia is going to be a hell of a game this Friday night, deep this football game of the week, week 6. It's going to be a very, very good game, as I said before. Also, there's one thing I want to talk about too. Um, really impressed, really taken away with their defensive end, Cole Campbell. Taken away too with their, like I said, the wide receivers and their ability. I've never seen a team I've never seen a team run a systematically play action or basically a bit of a rollout better than Geneva, and Geneva does a hell of a job. So Coach W does a great job with that team. But it's going to be an impressive. It's going to be an impressive game. But this is the season so far for the Geneva Vikings. But again, they need to get those 2 wins, and I think they can get it. And like I said, I don't want to face that team in the playoffs. Just saying that. I've talked about numerous teams, but this is a type of offense, especially with the spread out, and then you got a little bit of the two-back system. That's scary, especially in the Illinois high school playoffs when they can't, especially with defenses that are just used to passing, defending the pass, not defending those type of runs. And it's going to be interesting for Geneva football this coming for the rest of the season. Definitely a team to look out for too. But that's it. So if you like my stuff, please follow me, Coach Big Pete, Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, also on Instagram. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please visit deepdishfootball.com. Also, please feel free, if you like my work, go to deepdishfootball.com. On the right-hand section, feel free to leave a tip or a donation for my work. Simple as that. If you have any questions or any of that, please feel free to send me an email at coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. I will see you in Geneva Friday night. Tomorrow, go over the rosters and more magic numbers of the Geneva versus Batavia game, one of the best rivalry games in the state of Illinois. 99th game this Friday night. It's going to be fun.